Hey boys, should be a pretty easy one today because everyone did a cracking job in class. We're looking at finding a rule to calculate the perimeter of rectangles. So we're just focusing on rectangles for now. Obviously there's some different rules if you look at different shapes. We'll talk about them later on. We already spoke about it in class today, about a few. But pretty simply, if I've got a rectangle, let's say it's a footy field for sake of argument. If I've got it 100 meters, and let's say it's 40 meters if you ignore the fact that my scale's way off. If that's all the information we're given, we need to think about what's the quickest, easiest, best mathematical way to come up with an accurate answer for the perimeter of this shape. Obviously, the only thing you need to keep in mind is that the perimeter is the measure of the distance around the outside of an object. So if it's a footy field, we would measure all the way around the outside of it. So obviously we could do 100 plus 100 because we know that this missing side would be 100 meters because it's exactly the same. And we know over here, this missing one would be 40 meters. So we could do 100 plus 100 plus 40 plus 40, but I don't like it. It gets messy. It's easy to make mistakes that way. This is definitely the easiest way. And the rule that we spoke about in class, perimeter equals length plus width times 2. So in this case, it would be 100 meters add 40 meters is equal to 140 meters, and 140 meters times 2 would be 280 meters. Perimeter equals 280 meters. The only thing you really need to be careful of is if something looks like a square shape. Sometimes you get it in the Stepping Stones book, it looks like this, where it looks like a square, but it's actually a rectangle. Sometimes they might try to trick you up by doing things like this. They might say, you know what, that's not 100 meters. This is 1,000 centimeters. So you need to backtrack and work, well, what are they actually saying? If one side's in centimeters and one side's in meters, you need to make sure they're the same before you add them on. I hope this is an easy one for you. If you're having a little bit of trouble with the working out, it's probably because of your times tables. So if you jump over to My Maths Online, I've made live a couple of things. There's also a perimeter activity. So just do your best. In class this week, we're going to look at how do you calculate it when it's slightly more difficult. Like if we wanted to calculate the perimeter of Villanova College, it's not a square, it's not a rectangle, it's not one uniform shape. It's a little bit harder. Other than that, good luck revising for your test. Remember, perimeter, length plus width times 2. Enjoy.